welcome to New Zealand. I'm Richard Pullman. There have been ripples in the water this week at the Beehive, and at the very centre of the shake-up is Te Pāti Māori co-leader Rawiri Waititi. The controversy, which has affected the day-to-day life of Kiwis everywhere, arose after Waititi challenged Parliament's dress code, claiming he believed the wearing of a tie to be oppressive, and likened the accessory to a hangman's noose. Not willing to be shackled by silken bounds of Italian manufacture, the MP was removed from the House following an attempt to make an address short of a tie. Speaker of the House and part-time bare-knuckle boxer Trevor Mallard insisted he would stick to his guns and not let up on the matter, yet within hours of the event turned 180 on his heels and folded faster than a veteran laundry worker on sauna duty. In 2020, members of Parliament were given the opportunity to vote on changing the Beehive's dress code regulations. It came to light that Waititi and in fact no other Māori Party constituents placed a vote when given the opportunity, instead opting to make a stand and continue to flout the rules in place. Just days after his ejection, the Standing Committee ruled in Waititi's favour and subsequently allowed him to address the House without a jazzy polka dot ensemble around his neck. And perhaps it's for the best, given his absurd fashion choices, namely the wacky black cowboy hat that he so clearly cherishes. Chinese tie enthusiast Judith Collins, when approached, stated, after a furtive Google search, that she liked ties and that her national party had voted en bloc to completely cockblock any potential loosenings of the sitting House's standing orders respecting the masculine cervix. Reviewing coverage following the fallout, NewsyLand has found many reporters keenly drawing parallels between ties and the shape of the male genitalia, which has this anchor wondering, what will be removed from the public eye next? As practical as the elongated Virtus shape may be, more and more members of the public are finding they are reminded of the penis when confronted with objects bearing such qualities. Perhaps skyscrapers look much too phallic and simply have to go. And to local news, former student radio personality and alleged Mayor Aaron Hawkins is once again facing intense public scrutiny for a blunder involving East Otago's water supply and heavy metal. The common man could be forgiven for thinking Kiwi rock legends Devilskin were scheduled to perform beside the Waikawaiti River, when in fact the issue boils down to the region's water source being contaminated by lead. Tests have shown that levels were as much as 40 times the amount considered dangerous. Records show that the council was made aware of the contamination as early as August, but opted to not release their findings to the public. When approached for questioning, Mayor Hawkins stated on record that he was simply unaware of any change to the region's lead levels, as he only drinks ethically sourced Fijian spring water. The council organised a snap meeting to allay the public's concerns and answer any questions that may have arisen on the matter. Understandably, there were a lot of unhappy faces among those in attendance. Several councillors graced the stage to state the facts and respond to queries from the locals. Once again, displaying admirable leadership acumen, Mayor Hawkins opted to sit out from the stage as this took place, choosing instead to sit in the gallery, sipping organic kombucha and playing Candy Crush on his phone. When pressed to take the stage, he advised that while lead can be considered somewhat toxic, it is at the same time vegan, gluten-free, without GMO, pesticides, and is keto. Without being asked to comment, because, frankly, nobody gives a fuck what he thinks, via email, Councillor Vanderfist vindicated, "This never would have happened if the council had moved forward with my plan to pave the East Otago's river paradise and put up a parking lot." While the water is still contaminated, Hawkins has assured the public that he will be personally overseeing the work to rectify the issue. At the time of reporting, he is situating thumb out at the corner of Pine Hill. We will continue to follow this story as it unfolds. The country's national air carrier has come under fire for aiding the Saudi Arabian military with mechanical work and the supply of engines, turbines and shitty onboard magazines that nobody ever reads. The New Zealand government has denied any former knowledge of the partnership between the Saudi Kingdom and a corporation it owns more than 51% of. When asked to comment, the Prime Minister said she has much more pressing concerns to attend to this week and displayed a catalogue of ties she had picked out for senior party member and four-time Wainuiomata lawn darts champion Grant Robertson. A source from inside Air New Zealand has told us that the company is assembling Peter Jackson and the Lord of the Rings cast to film an in-flight safety and apology film to address the issue. Our Foreign Affairs correspondent Scott Freeman was much too afraid to approach the Saudi Arabian government for comment for fear of being hacked to pieces with a bone saw and mailed back to Ponsonby. That's that, I believe. Short story. And finally, the country's own brand of overboard extremist religious lunatics are once again making headlines as the police investigation into historic abuse allegations continues. 3 men have been charged following the inquiry, and we have chosen not to go into great detail about the charges given their graphic nature. Our theology expert, religious correspondent Lucy Fairswin, expressed surprise that a group of secretive conservative Christians hiding away on the rural west coast would also be committing such heinous atrocities. She also stated that the police officers assigned to the case had a hard time nailing down exactly who their suspects were, given they all looked the same due to Gloria Vale's paddling pool shallow gene pool, and their propensity to all dress in the exact same manner. The 3 accused were released on bail, but what hasn't been made clear is whether or not they were bailed back to Gloria Vale, where the offending is said to have taken place, or if they have been shown that there is in fact the world outside the rigorous prayer schedule, Bible bashing, and bizarre church-themed orgies that make up a day in the life of an average Gloria Vale citizen. This has been New Zealand, recapping New Zealand's current affairs. That is the word I was looking for. God damn it. Mind on floaters. And that's our show. Thank you for joining us. I'm Richie Pullman, and this has been New Zealand, recapping current affairs